This week we're going to talk about the cons of travel healthcare. What are the things to know going into it that might happen that are good to know ahead of time?
Nomadicare.com makes it easy to be a travel nurse, travel therapist, or any allied health traveler. It's full of unbiased education, a job board marketplace with pay listed up front, and there are free tools to learn how to negotiate to make sure you're getting paid fair. Our bread and butter is vetted recruiter matchmaking. You tell us where you want to go, and we will match you with perfectly vetted recruiters who pay the best and have jobs where you want them.
Number one is you are expected to hit the ground running, meaning the facility does expect you to come in. There has been some places that I've been to where the orientation was almost non-existent, and I got a patient caseload that day to see right away. So they expect you to come in, already have clinical skills for that patient population, be confident enough to say, yeah, I know I don't really know this clinic yet, but let me see these people, I'm here to help. And even though you will get some orientation, like you will get shown the documentation system and where stuff is, there just is a high expectation on travelers that you're coming in experienced and ready pretty much to see patients as soon as you get kind of oriented. It's not the place to be if you're craving mentorship or someone to hold your hand or a soft intro where you get a couple patients. They really are looking for productivity pretty dang quick with travelers. Number two is, although we get paid great while we're working, we do not get any paid sick days and we don't get any paid time off at all. So we are contract workers, and it's almost like somewhere in between being per diem because we only get paid for when we work, mixed with being permanent because we do have access to some benefits and things like that that don't come with per diem. But we're contract workers who say we will work this many hours a week, and if we don't because we're sick or we had a planned vacation time, we will not get paid for that time. And then anytime in between assignments, you're not going to get paid for that either. And when you do that, and let's say you're taking weeks or months off in between, you're just not getting paid. So if you're becoming a travel healthcare worker because of this great pay, it's only great pay if you're really working the hours. It's not great pay, of course, if you work a contract and then have huge gaps in between and work another contract. Number three, and I actually find this one to be the most painful, it's finding the short-term housing. So the way the industry works today is typically it's on us travelers to find the place we're going to live for the 13 weeks. It used to be that staffing agencies would find us housing to stay in more, but also that means they took the housing stipend themselves and found it. Now, as travelers, we said, hey, we want to find our own housing, give us the housing stipend, which is tax-free money, and then we'll find a place. Because also, if you find a place cheaper than the stipend, you get to keep that extra cash. So it's great, we do that for a good reason, but it can be very hard to find housing. There are some really good resources for it, but it's getting more expensive, and you really want to find a landlord who can find that balance between not locking you into a contract. So let's just say your assignment got canceled early, that you couldn't leave without a huge penalty, mixed with you getting some benefits of staying there for a long time and having cheaper rent. So finding short-term housing, while not impossible, we all do it, it's definitely doable, is just time-consuming. Number four is that there is a risk of contracts getting canceled. This is not super common. It happened to me, I think, only one time in the whole 7 years I traveled, but I've also talked to travelers who said it's happened to them a couple different times. So it is something that is a risk and will probably happen to you at some point if you travel for a while. And that just essentially means that you planned on working somewhere for 13 weeks, and for whatever reason, maybe they found a permanent employee to fill your spot, maybe their census dropped, whatever reason it is for them, they actually ended up canceling you. And that can be a pain just because you got all your credentials ready for that job, you got the license for that state, maybe you secured housing already, so you were set up to work there, and then it just fell through. So at that point, you're gonna be calling your recruiter, trying to find another job in that area so you can stay, or you're just gonna have a bigger gap than you expected. So it's just good to know it's a risk It will happen likely at some point, but it's also not super common. It doesn't happen all of the time. Number 5 con is health insurance gaps. So when you work at a permanent job, you typically get offered health insurance options. When you are a travel healthcare worker, you also get offered insurance through the staffing agency. However, there's a few reasons that's not necessarily the most amazing thing ever. For one, we're only working 13 weeks at a time. So once that job is over, your health insurance is over as well, unless you keep working back to back to back for that same company. Also, as travel healthcare workers, we don't want to work with just one company. We want to have at least 2, but usually even 3 different companies that we work with all of the time. And that's because the different companies have access to different jobs. So if we only work with one, we're only seeing a small amount of the jobs we could see if we worked with 3 and listened to all the jobs that are in an area. So that means we have 3 different recruiters from 3 different companies, and we will likely switch between the 3 throughout the year, depending on which region we're going to and what opportunities they each have. And so with that, you would have to switch insurance over and over and over again, never getting time to earn your deductible for the year, and also just switching what plan you're on and what they cover all the time. So I recommend looking into getting your own health insurance. It's always what I did. And so then you have your own health insurance that you can get through, the marketplace or a private insurance, and you just keep it through the whole year. So if you're on a gap, if you're switching companies, whatever it is, you just have your own, you pay for it month after month. So number 6 challenging thing about being a travel healthcare worker is just learning how to navigate the landscape of picking out the right staffing agency for you. And then even inside the staffing agency, you've got to find the right recruiter to work with, because all the recruiters are a little bit different inside of a staffing agency, and they're literally able to pay you differently or submit you to jobs faster or slower or respond to you faster or slower. And so it's a very critical step in being able to find 3 staffing agencies that are the right ones for you, which that has more to do with where they have jobs, what benefits they have, and then inside the company, the really good recruiter. That can be challenging and a lot of work all on its own. And the fact that that decision is something that could cost you thousands of dollars, literally, per assignment if you have the wrong recruiter, makes it feel like a very big deal to make sure you do have the right recruiter. And kind of mixed in with that is navigating and having the knowledge of knowing how to know how much you're worth, because what you're worth in New Mexico might be different than what you're worth in Southern California, which is different than Northern California. And so really learning, how do you negotiate? How do you learn about pay and make sure you're getting a fair deal? Those are skill sets that are really important. Of course, I'm gonna teach you about them, but that is a harder part of this industry that not all industries have, because, oh my gosh, we have to renegotiate and rethink about our worth every 13 weeks. As far as finding the recruiters and companies, you can just go to Nomadicare.com, and there's a little tab at the top that says Find Recruiters, and you'll just fill out a short form. It'll say where you're trying to travel to, things that you want in your company and recruiter. And then we at Nomadicare, we're the recruiter matchmakers, and we have a really, really cool technology that will take all of your information and we'll look it over and say, okay, these are the perfect companies for this person. They do have jobs in the locations they want to go. They pay the best in those locations. And then we vet the recruiters. We have a really thorough interview process where only the best recruiters who pay fair, who are awesome to work with, who have time for new travelers, get through the interview. And so we'll give you the staffing agency, that's great, but then a vetted recruiter inside of it. So that's totally free for you. And you can just go there to get that match. And then for learning about pay and all of those things, just keep watching the videos and I'll teach you all about that as well. So lastly, for the pro and con knowledge that you're getting, I do want to end on my favorite pro. And this pro is all about the memories you're going to make and the adventure of travel. It is literally almost like a pinch me, am I dreaming thing that we even have this in our career. You can go get paid to travel around the country, and you can pick where you want to go, and you can take time off as you want to, and you get paid a lot more money to do this than if you had a permanent job. I think it is amazing. If you somehow have the desire in your heart for it, for one, which you're watching this video, so I guess you probably do a little bit. And then two, the situation in your life where you can go and travel, I highly encourage it. It is so cool to be able to go to a town you've never been to, have a cool little place to stay for 13 weeks, a job that makes great money, and then you get to explore a place you've never been. And even inside our own country, if you guys have traveled, you know, New York City is like its own country, it feels like. And then San Francisco is like its own country, and Berkeley is even different than San Francisco. And then you can go to Montana, you can go to Alaska, Hawaii. And I kind of think it's an honor and really cool that we even get that chance. If you ask me, which I'm very biased because I love travel healthcare, I think it's well worth it, and I think it's an unbelievably cool career. If you want to keep learning all about travel healthcare, like and subscribe to this channel. We have new videos that come out every single week, all about this topic. And of course, go to Nomadicare.com. That is an amazing website that is just for healthcare travelers, full of resources and tools that are free for you to use.